Welcome back, Truth Seeker. January 3rd, 2018. The news from the White House today. Donald Trump is going to go to the College Football Championship. And I want you to see what's so interesting about this announcement coming January 3rd, 1/3 or 3/1. Again, everything that takes place through the media, from presidential elections to sports games to news stories, it's all scripted by the code of letters, numbers, and dates on the calendar. Every single action of Donald Trump is the action of a puppet. Every sports game is planned theater. You couldn't have scripted it any better. Every sports fan's heard those words. So this is a major clue. Remember, before the playoff games were played, I said it was all about 13. 13 played itself out in a big way in both games. Now look, here we are on 1/3. A lot like 13. The 45th president announcing that he's going to attend the game. These are our base ciphers in gematria. And I want you to see that when you write out 13, it sums to 45 in reduction and reverse reduction. It doesn't matter that it's the same thing in single reduction, because what single reduction is the same thing as full reduction on the left, except for the letter S. S is the 19th letter of the alphabet. Reduction is the rules of numerology. So 19 is 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. S is the only letter you have to add to get either twice to get to a single digit. So S can be 10 or 1. And when S is 10, then it adds plus 9 to the reduction value, like you see with Nicholas and Mercedes. But anyway, the point is 13 is 45 forwards and back. Trump's the 45th president. The night he was announced as the president, early in the morning of November 9th. That was the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, 45 in reduction. His vice president is Mike Pence, 45 forwards and backwards. This code of letters and numbers is a biblical code. Notice Holy Bible is 45 forwards and backwards. So is the word hermetic. The Bible's teachings based in Hermeticism. Hermeticism has to do with old world knowledge, the stars, frequency, vibration, numbers, language. The belief is God is the master mathematician. God is the geometer of the world. The word geometry, also 45. But think about it. On this date, the 45th president announces he's going to the game. These numbers align more with Alabama than they do Georgia. That is for certain. I'm also thinking about how last year when Donald Trump was campaigning before he was president, there was the story about the river turning crimson in Russia. And I showed how that lined up perfectly with the college football season. I said, don't be surprised if Alabama goes back to the championship again. Then they ended up repeating against Clemson, or playing again in the championship. They lost that game. But I'm just thinking about all these riddles. Trump, Russia, football, Trump going to the game, the third Alabama championship in a row. It's not arbitrary. It's not arbitrary. These are all part of planned narratives in the media, subliminal storylines. The reason Nicholas and Mercedes are up here is because Nicholas Saban is the head coach of Alabama. The last time they won the championship, they beat Clemson with 45 points. He owns Mercedes-Benz dealerships, and this year the game is in the brand new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Think about it. His family owns Mercedes dealerships. The game's in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Isn't it interesting how Nicholas and Mercedes perfectly overlap? And remember, Nicholas and Mercedes are both 36. 666 is the 36th triangular number. He can get his 6th championship at age 66. So, understand the code, see through the headlines. Why is it announced today that Trump is going to the game? Well, it's probably a tell for Alabama. Also, a reminder, there's a narrative with LeBron James and Alabama college football. When Alabama wins college football championships, LeBron wins NBA finals. This happened most recently in 2016. Think about how Trump had his convention in the arena in Cleveland right after the Cavs won the championship, playing basketball in that arena for the series. Donald Trump and LeBron James ended in the White House on the same day visiting Obama. I think that was November 10th. It was a Thursday night. Thursday night football was the Cleveland Browns playing the Ravens just down the street. Cleveland had just won their first championship since the Browns won it in '64 with Jim Brown as their star player. Scripted narratives. You know, Muhammad Ali had just died, friend of Jim Brown, who became boxing champion in '64. All things I was explaining back then. Ali, ritual sacrifice for those NBA finals and LeBron James. But there's these narratives. Trump, LeBron, Alabama. Now Trump at the Alabama game. You see what I'm saying? If LeBron let's say Alabama does win the championship. Alabama wins this week. If LeBron goes to the finals and win, he'll become 4-5, just like 45. You see this? You see this? I think if Alabama wins the championship, you can pencil in LeBron for the basketball championship. And if Alabama loses and LeBron goes to the finals and loses, he'll be 3-6. 3-6. That matters because, again, 666 is the 36th triangular number. LeBron became the first player to go to 6 straight finals since '66 when Bill Russell did it. LeBron James, the name equals 66. So does the name LeBron. Number of the beast equals 66. Special number. So, Alabama likely connected to whatever LeBron's going to do. And just think of the other riddles with LeBron and Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump runs on Building the Wall. LeBron James gets a hit TV show, The Wall. LeBron James. The name James alone has gematria of 48, like Wall, like Cleveland. The movie The Great Wall came out on the 48th day of the year, right after Trump was selected as president, right after inauguration. February 17th. But just another example of the world of scripted news and sports. You know, like I always say, from rigged elections to rigged sports, it's all through the same code. Here you can see how it all comes together. This date also has numerology of 42. 42, Georgia won their first championship in 42. Freemason equals 42. The big G on the side of the Georgia helmet or the Freemason compass represents 42. Sumerian gematria, G is the 7th letter. Multiply each letter times 6. 7 times 6, 42. That means DC, which is 4 plus 3. 7 times 6 is 42. The initials DC, 42. The man from DC going to go to the championship where Georgia's playing. Somebody mentioned how Georgia won their championships in the 42 and 80 seasons. Those were 38 years apart. They played that championship, though, in 81, which was 37 years ago. But it is interesting how from 42 to 80 is 38 years, and then from 80 to 2018 is 38 years, even though that season was really 37 seasons ago. As I pointed out, Jake Fromm equals 38. Jalen Hurts equals 38. Alabama's beat Georgia 38 times. It's also 168 days from the Georgia QB's birthday to the game. 163 is the 38th prime. And from the Alabama quarterback to the game, from the date of the Alabama quarterback's birthday to the date of the championship game, January 8th, is 154 days. Talked about that number before with LeBron James and King James in last year's NBA Finals. King James equals 154. Georgia Bulldogs also equals 154. So the riddles are here. You know, they're deep. Makes me wonder if maybe LeBron James and Jalen Hurts are bred from the same line of however they're doing this. Because it's no doubt that they're breeding these athletes. Perhaps these men are related, you know, genetically. But a major King James riddle with the Alabama quarterback. And then there's riddles with Alabama and LeBron James. All right, Truth Seeker, I don't want to get too long in the tooth. I'll save that point. Until next time.